Head coach Chris Gustas enters his 10th season as head coach of both the men's and women's programs. The Wartburg women finished with an overall record of 18-10 last season, as the men closed out the season with a mark of 16-16. Women's tennis opens their 2025 season in St. Louis against Webster and Illinois College on Saturday. Coach Gustas is joined by senior Tori Johnson and junior Morgan Kathman. Opening statement from Coach. Otherwise, questions?
Coach, you graduated valuable production from last year's team. Who are some players we can expect to take a larger role heading into this season?
Yeah. So that's part of why they're here. Morgan was playing 2 singles last season. Was pretty big breakout for us. Really went from not much varsity time as a freshman to jumping into, I think he played mostly 5 in the fall, and then jumped all the way up to 2 and had a lot of wins. And then at 1 doubles, really just broke out and did a bunch for us. So her job gets a little bigger, but really if we can just repeat last year, we're in a good spot. We already trust what we've got there. Tori's been playing really well this fall. So not only has she had to take on a leadership role even more than in the past, but just the game has been strong and solid and mentally been really consistent. And I think these two have a big job. Lily Schreckengas came back strong. She's been very steady this fall, and in doubles especially has improved. In singles she has been a contributor for us for a couple of years, but in doubles her net play and her serve has really changed, so I'm expecting her to step up too. After those 3, so Brooke Bloom was another one that got significant time last year, and she'll have to move up. And then we've just got several players that have open positions that they're trying to fight for right now. And I'm excited to see who grabs those and who holds on to them by winning in those positions too. So everybody in tennis, you take off the top, everybody's got to move up. But yeah, these 2, Lily and Brooke, are the ones that were already in the lineup and that are going to move higher.
Got 4 assistant coaches. That feels like quite the thing for a D3 program to have.
Yeah.
How do you utilize them, and just tell us about those men and women?
Yeah, so the people that are my assistant coaches are buying into the program. They're excited to be around the people that they're coaching. They are here because they want to be part of our program. It's funny because I find myself recruiting players and then separately kind of recruiting coaches. When we lose one, or when I feel that one will have to leave soon, I'm already looking at who's going to be next. And what I really do, on Sunday of this week, I built this coach schedule. So I'm building, Nick comes on this morning, because we've been doing 2 practices a day. Nick comes on this morning, Lucas comes on this afternoon, Marissa and Jim are there on this morning together. It could be any combination, but I'm trying to always have at least one, and oftentimes we have 2. For having 14 women on our roster, and we're looking at 16 men, 30 players, it's pretty good for a ratio if I can send a coach to only have to watch 2-3 courts at a time. And they all bring different things. Marissa's been with us the longest, and she knows pretty much exactly how I want this program to run. So even beyond just her tennis knowledge, and her ability to work with, she's only female coach, right? So that helps me with them some. Jim Miller's been playing tennis longer than I've been alive, and offers, there's just something about having a serious veteran around all the time. Lucas played at a high level for us, so he's got that going for him. And on top of Coach Nick being pretty darn funny, and just like this morning, the women had a ton of fun with him. He has coached some high school tennis. He's coached with us, and I've watched him grow into a pretty darn good tactician as well. Yeah, so we're managing their schedule almost like another roster, a little one. Yeah.
Has the team had a chance to have any team building opportunities this offseason and preseason so far?
You're up.
Yeah, we usually do something every night, even if it's just like 30, 40 minutes, just getting together, getting to know each other outside of tennis. I think that really helps make friendships, and then it makes us all play better together. So like tonight we have like a show and tell, so everybody just brings something from home. We could just learn about each other a little bit tonight, so yeah.
What was your favorite one so far?
I like game night. It's a good time to, again, learn some things about everybody, and it's always a fun time, so that'd probably be my favorite.
Will you give me one highlight from the ping pong tournament?
The ping pong, okay, that was pretty fun too. Highlight would have to be probably Lydia Miller's game winner for the championship. That was pretty fun.
Coach, what are some things you generally see from your players improve upon as they get older in the program?
Yeah. In all of their game, their willingness to sustain long points increases because they realize how much of an endurance game this is, not only in what can your legs do over time, but how long can you mentally just stay in a match. So their ability to sustain points, to battle back through tough situations, something we work on a lot is trying to hold our body language strong, because if you don't have much of a chance to make a comeback or to be strong through the whole match. So I think they get stronger at their endurance in points, endurance in matches. On the doubles side, specifically, I see much more just hungry to get the ball at the net. That was one of the reasons you got better last year, is Morgan started covering a lot of net space and finishing volleys, and then also they just seem to start knowing what is coming, maybe 2 shots ahead of time. So I was watching us at the tournament, and one of our sophomores, the ball behind her was easy for this player, so she was already leaning toward, okay, this is going to go here, and I'm going to run right across the middle. Like, she was there before the ball was even hit and was able to put it away, and that was cool to see because she's been here a year, and I'm starting to see hints of that. And I thought one other thing, not tennis-wise, is you just start to see them take care of the younger players a little bit more. Like these two are asking more questions of the younger players, where when they were younger, the other ones were checking in on them.
How do you develop that mental toughness? Because, I mean, it seems like you're right,
Yeah.
that the ability to go longer than you think you can go is
Yep.
key.
Yeah. Okay, I think mental toughness is not a given talent, but we may all start with a certain level. And I start with the stuff that I can see, the way they speak, the way that they, like I said, their body language. If you can at least reduce the physical and verbal expressions of when you're falling off of the mental toughness, that means you're recognizing when you're showing weakness. And at least if you're doing that, you can decide you want to work harder and you want to continue. I also think that the first day we just did a plank for a very long time. And I just talked to, right? So I just talked to them like, hey, you're going to turn to the person next to you and tell them you can do this all day. And you're going to, in your voice, they should be able to hear that. And then as I do the plank too, I just say, hey, my shoulders hurt too, but you can see I am pretty good at faking that I'm fine. And talk about the message that it sends the opponents. What else?
Yeah, definitely like the fake it till you make it when we're doing conditioning. I think that builds that character of, yeah, we're hurting right now, we're tired, but we're not going to let it show. Yeah.
And then also even talking about hitting the ball to targets where we know it will be in, like knowing that just putting the ball in a bunch gets results. And when they feel that, I don't want them to hit the ball nice and soft, but I want it to hit it to a place where we're pretty confident it's going to go in.
What's something about your program that maybe you wish people understood, that maybe you feel like we just don't get?
Something people don't know. I think that while we really want to win, I think our team and I do a good job of embracing that it is more than tennis. Like, we've had teams that are so close and, really good relationships, and those teams are the ones that fight the hardest to win. That's some of how you build the mental toughness, is you get them to just love what we're doing and love their teammates, and so when they're battling and they hear the voices of their teammates, that they're going to fight through that. But we're doing other things like our Derek Solheim from our career services is going to come over and talk to them about okay, freshmen, sophomores, here's some stuff you can be doing to prepare for the future. Juniors, seniors, here's stuff you can be doing to prepare for the future. The past few years, we've played tennis on a grass court that's just out of town in Charles City. It's been featured in Sports Illustrated. That most programs are not doing something like that, but it's that this whole thing is an experience, and I really want to win. But to win, you need to do the right culture stuff, and the right culture stuff is part of why we're tough. And when you're tough in practice, and when they're excited to come, it makes us practice better, improve more. I look at in that preseason poll that I'm guessing you're going to tell me about, but they usually rate us, like we never get underrated. And I think people, like our conference feels that our players are going to get better. When we had this exhibition doubles event over the weekend that we hosted. And I look at some other schools and I look at where we are relative to that, and I feel really good about our improvement. And so I think this more than tennis thing does still produce results. That's a good question.
And how do you, as a fall sports coach, and then ladies, you can answer this as well, help the freshmen, because not only are they starting a college sport, but they're starting college, and for some of them they're really good high school students and they've never studied in their life.
Mm-hmm. Will you talk a little bit about this, even from your perspective of being a freshman?
Yeah, so one thing that helped me as a freshman was like the older classmen like reaching out to me, making sure that like I was okay, like they would like show me around for classes. And then one important thing that they did say, like you're an athlete, or like you're a student over an athlete, so that helped me reassure me like I need to focus on academics, but I also like want to compete at a high level. So yeah, just reaching out really helps make you feel more comfortable. So that's something I definitely tried to do as an upperclassman, is just reach out to them if they need anything, and yeah, just help as much as I can.
I noticed her last year, at a certain point I noticed when she was being, I think this is what a social butterfly is, but like popping into like different groups of people and talking to them about it, like making those connections. Pretty valuable to have freshmen that get to spend time with juniors and seniors, and I think our smaller roster lends itself to that. While Tori's at a pretty different stage of life than our freshmen are right now, she still can look out for them and look ahead, and they trust you. There were seniors that were like that when you were younger too.
Coach, you mentioned the ARC poll that doesn't come out until tomorrow, so could you just give us an outlook of competitive?
Break it down.
Competitiveness of the conference this season?
I will not tell you my predictions. I'll tell you. I think, okay, first thing that's interesting about it is with Luther leaving, like it's weird to think about, you know, in some sports in the ARC, they are not the top dog, but it's been, I mean, I can't even, I'm trying to remember how many times they haven't won the conference championship since I've been here. One of them was when we won it. And I think when I first started, the co-men or women might have won it, but it's been a while. So Co won the tournament, but Luther had won the regular season. But yes, even that, like to win the tournament, it's been so rare. So I think one thing is, that's got to be a story for tennis almost more than any other sport, is that the reigning champ, which they may or may not win this year, but this is their goodbye thing. This is when Derek Jeter goes to all the stadiums and everyone gives him a rocking chair or whatever, right? So yeah, it's their last go around. So I think that's part of it. Co beat them in the tournament last year. I think that will be a really good meet, and I don't know who I would pick in it. So competitive there. Let's see, if we're going down from last year, it'd be Central and us tied for third. We're going to be we have a lot of new players, but I feel good about our squad. I'm excited to see what Central's development is, what their freshmen will do for them. I think Dubuque will be in that mix. I don't know what Wesleyan will bring in, and Loris. Those were the next two in the standings before. But those ones in the middle are the ones where you flip a coin, you don't know what happens. However, I will also say that last year we went into the ARC tournament and we went and took the doubles point off of Luther. So we started out leading that meet, and that has not happened even when we beat them. We've never come out of doubles ahead. So we might be closer to them than we maybe even realized when we walked in on that day. So I love playing those big meets against good teams because they play up. And I was coaching that meet to win. You know, we sometimes in tennis you know what's going to happen, but it didn't feel that way on that day.
Will you continue to schedule Luther? I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
alumni would feel awkward if blue
If we
and
didn't.
orange didn't
Yeah.
meet.
I think we will continue to schedule them. I mean, they're an hour and 15 minutes away, and whether they stay at the level or not, it doesn't matter. Like we have a good relationship with Coach Strand, and I think here's going to be the difference is that I bet that might more often be a double duel day where we go and play them and somebody else. Where right now, because it's ARC, we would just go and play only them. But I think that we will continue that, and even Coach Strand said that immediately when I was ribbing him about leaving. So that was the first thing that he said back. Yeah.
Coach, you kind of touched on like having the student athlete experience
Yeah.
for your roster and wanting to win, or that urge to want to win. Has there, I guess this is a question for Tori and Morgan, but has there been a point where you played against Coach during the off season? Did you beat him? Was he upset?
No, I played our assistant coach, Marissa, but
Yeah.
The
Played
only
Nick
time-
yesterday.
we played Nick yesterday. And,
Could you beat him?
oh, I don't know. I'm a little scared to find out.
I will hustle so much in that match. I hit in a little bit, but when I was younger, I would play more. I'm better than I was then, but I have learned that if my mind is on playing and coaching, I'll be bad at both. But if they just want to 1-versus-1 me, and I'll take on any challengers. That's fine. Yeah.
Seems like you have some confidence.
Yeah, maybe out, but it's got to be outside of practice, so I don't have to be thinking about what's happening next. Yeah. But one thing though is that I do hit with them. You know, we'll do like individual sessions, and when we did one, we ended up playing out some points and things, and it's I don't know. This is about my life, but one of my goals is like just stay fit and healthy enough to play with them as long as you can. Because what a cool thing that I get to do is still play tennis. My friends that play tennis are sitting on their butts at work right now, not playing tennis, and I get to be out on the court with them. Yeah.
For you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.